Today, I want to talk about performance baggers, right? It's become very popular over the last few years, especially with the King of the Baggers and Kyle Wyman taking the win for Harley Davidson time and time again. And then Indian, they've got their performance team building performance baggers, and some of these other brands, I'm sure they have them too. And they're all pretty great bikes nowadays. But I want to talk about whether or not you should get a base model Road Glide or a CVO ST if you're going to build a performance bagger. Now, my thoughts, if you want to go ahead and just get into it as far as my final thought, I think you're better off with the base model. But let me explain why, and maybe you can decide whether or not the CVO ST is a bike you really want, or if you'd rather just build a base model because the base model is about 15,000 give or take, cheaper than the CVO ST, right? So CVO ST has a lot of great upgrades. One of them being the radial mounted brakes. Another is their suspension, right? Inverted front forks, piggyback rear shocks. All of it's adjustable, right? It's really cool. You can fine tune it, and it comes with a bigger motor, the heavy breather intake, Screaming Eagle exhaust, some extra features on the infotainment as far as the different modes like track mode versus just sport, rain, and highway that you have on the base model. And so you got a bigger engine, you got a different suspension, you got all these cool things for that extra 15 grand. Now, if you just want to keep this thing in the garage, take it out on the weekends to a track, and then you don't plan to do much to it, that might be the bike for you. But for what I'm going for in this performance build, I think it makes more sense to just get this bike because if you do go spend all that money on a CVO ST, just like all the other motorcycles, no matter what they are, we're going to spend money on them. We're going to swap parts out. So from the way I see it, you're going to spend a lot more money to get this bike just to change out a lot of parts that already came with it, right? So the suspension's cool, and that's made by Showa. That's who has the contract with Harley Davidson. And you see a lot of people online will take the Showa suspension off the CVO ST, and then they'll throw on, like, let's say Oleans, right? So if you're gonna go ahead and just swap out the suspension that already comes on this bike, and the selling point, one of them is that it has a suspension, it's like, why are you gonna spend the extra money for something you're gonna get rid of anyways, right? Now, you could also argue that the engine being bigger, right? That's another advantage. But the thing is, with these Harleys, you can swap the motor out and do a stage 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can get a lot of power out of them. So this has a 117, whereas the CVOST has a 121. But if you wanted some power out of in the performance bagger build, you could either do stage 4, make this a 131. You could swap it to a crate 135 and get it tuned, and those engines are pretty good. And then you pair that with a weight reduction, you'll be going faster than the CVST if you put the money in that you're going to spend on the CVOs to take the price difference, right? So if you take that 15,000 from the price difference and put that into the parts. Now, granted, you might go over 15 grand, right? You might put 20 grand into this, right? But I mean, if you put 20 grand into this and you put, let's just say, 5 grand into a $45,000 CVOST, then both bikes are 50, right? Both bikes 50,000. So when you have the build that you custom built, custom tuned, and it does everything you want with all the parts you hand picked, I think you're going to get a better bike out of that, and you'll have more pride in it, and probably get a better ride out of it. You'll enjoy that a lot more. So for me, I think it's better to go with the base model because it has some cheaper parts compared to the CVOST. I'm not saying the bike has cheap parts, right? But compared, so yeah, as far as the building platforms, I think if you really want to dial in and custom create a performance bagger that to your needs, right, to what you think is great, then I think maybe you should consider just going with the base model and just the CVOST is cool and all, but unless you plan on keeping it stock, which I don't know many people who would want to, I think you're going to spend more money in the long run, making that bike what you want. But some people have the money and some people want to do that. But let me know in the comments, would you rather build the bagger and put all the specific parts and everything handpicked into the build of your bike, or would you rather just have this out the box ready to go performance bagger? So comment below, and if you have a base model or you have a CVO ST, let me know what you've got, what you've done to it, and what your build is. And if you want to see more videos like this, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next ride.